As some of you may know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I wanted to bring some light to the situation, maybe even knowing that sharing some aspects of my story could be of help to someone. When I started this channel, I started it with the intention of sharing my story. I started it with the intention of helping women, even in small ways. And up and until this point, I feel I have helped in some ways, but it's been pressing on my heart and on my soul to share. Here I am with a platform, not a big platform, but a platform that I could be doing more. Sometimes our lives aren't always about us. They're about others and sharing and giving of ourselves to others in efforts to help them. This video puts me in a very vulnerable position, and it opens me up to unexpected or unnecessary criticism. I know that anyone that comes on here and negatively criticizes me or leaves me a negative comment, they're not in the know. And I'm glad you're not in the know, because once upon a time, I was that person who thought, oh, you'll never catch me in a situation like that. Oh, why is she with him? Why is she staying with him? There's so much that goes on, and it really is a psychological thing that cannot be explained unless you've been there and you've been through it yourself. There are many signs and symptoms that someone is in an abusive relationship, no matter how small or how grand. I can say that I have survived. I do not consider myself a victim of anything. I'm free. I'm free emotionally, I'm free mentally, and most of all, I'm free physically. I'm still here to share my story, which so many women are not, and I do not take that for granted. So I'm going to go over a couple of signs that are often overlooked or misunderstood or swept under the carpet because people don't feel it's a big deal. I think sometimes in the world that we live in, we sensationalize things, and unless someone's on the verge of death and bloody and broken and into a hospital, we don't consider that a big deal, but it is. Be very, very angered by small things that in a normal relationship people would consider day-to-day things. If I had to go pick up my daughter from her father's house, and I had gone to the gym in the morning or got myself prepared or ready to go, I would take a shower before I left the house. That's just what normal people do. But he would become enraged and call me on my way to pick up my daughter and accuse me of cheating because I took a shower. I worked a different schedule than he did. I usually got out of work between 4 and 5, and sometimes you just want to break up the monotony, and maybe you want to go to a friend's house, or you want to go to the store, or you want to do something. If I did, I'd get phone calls, numerous phone calls, more than that could be counted, stating I should be home. I have dinner to cook, clothing to wash, floors to wash, and his t-shirts needed to be ironed. I didn't really take too kindly to that, but in time I realized that that was just going to cause a problem. So I would go home sometimes. Other times I'd weather the storm. When I met him through my best friend. She was dating one of his family members, and she had a party. I went to the party I met him. He was eyeing me all night. He was a very, very attractive man. And by the end of the night, he was claiming me. In no time at all, within a few weeks' time, we were dating steadily. And within a few months, he was already talking about marriage, moving in together, and having children. And at this time in my life, I wasn't interested in marriage, per se. I didn't want to rush anything. I had already been through a couple of things in life, and I wanted to take my time and really make sure that that person was the right one. He let me know in no uncertain terms if I wasn't interested in marriage, then we could no longer date. So I began to wonder if maybe my outlook on life was too brash or too harsh, and maybe I should reconsider my own thought process. His expectations of me were rather high. I was expected to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for whatever he saw fit, whether it be sexually or to cook dinner. I'd often get phone calls in the middle of the night when he was out with family and friends to wake up and make them breakfast at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He also expected that I give up my vehicle so that he didn't have to drive a car that was considered a beater, a car that was busted or not cute. But I always came from the upbringing and thought process that you work for and earn what you have. And I never thought that I should have to give him my vehicle, but it would lead to a lot of extra. There was always some reason as to why something was my fault or someone else's fault, whether it be that he didn't have the best car, the best clothing, he wasn't able to get to the barber to get a lineup, he didn't have the latest sneakers. It was all an image he was trying to create, but the point being here is that it was my fault, his brother's fault, his mother's fault, his father's fault, everyone but his own, or a fight that happened. It was always someone pushed him to the edge. Someone did something to him to elicit that response, and it just wasn't the case. If we did get into an argument, it was always me. I was always told that I made him feel like he was less than a man because I decorated my home without asking his permission. There were so many times that we'd be having a great time. We'd be out at a party, out dancing. We'd be just having the best time. And I really had thought in the early stages that I had met the one, until I fully realized that there was a whole nother side of him that I really did not know. At a moment's notice, over the smallest of things, he could turn into a monster, literally. I lost a lot of friendships. He would get this glazed look over his face, and I knew something was about to happen. So I would observe and watch what was going on so that I could better protect myself when he lashed out. It was like night and day, two different people. Morning and night could never depict when it was going to happen. There was no specific pattern, but the pattern was the same. If triggered, the other guy showed up. And that's not somebody you ever wanted to meet. He slowly started to chip away at the relationships I had worked hard to build. There was something wrong with everyone. Any of my friends that had strong personalities like myself, he really didn't have a desire to have them around. And to lessen the friction, I would remove myself from those situations. When people questioned me and I wasn't ready to share, I just stopped communicating. Fortunately, two of my very best friends are still here. And I'm getting emotional not because of the pain I went through, but the fact that those two people that know who they are stayed, because many people left and have yet to return. Can't understand why I left them even when they were aware of what had happened to me. They still couldn't get past that I wasn't there for them. So these tears of joy are grateful tears. These two women are like my sisters, and I love them very much. Many times, as a warning of something that may be coming my way, there would be a punch in the wall, a kick to something, broken coffee tables, broken antennas off of my car, strikes to my car, going through personal items. They were all warnings before the physical abuse was going to manifest itself. So it was either take the warning or suffer the consequences. Please, if you are a woman or a girl or a teen, if someone has told you that the person that you love and that you are with has hit someone before, mainly a female, or friends and family have had concerns, or people he knows have had concerns about violent outrages or physical abuse on others, that is all you need to know. There is no fixing that. That is something that is innate within a person, and they have to want to change that. You can never change that person. That person may have many good qualities, but those bad qualities are part of who they are as well, and you have to identify them as one person, not the person I love and then the evil person. They are one person. Let them go and save yourself. There are many other signs of domestic violence. There are many other signs of abuse, whether it be verbal, physical, not physical, sexual. No matter how small it is, if someone's making you feel less than what you are worth, you deserve more. If someone is putting their hands on you and slowly chipping away at the bright star you once were, you need to get rid of them so that you can shine bright again. I myself was a bright star, a very strong star shining brightly, that had my own issues from growing up and things that I experienced, which we won't get into today. But some of that is how it led me into missing the signs. There will be people that criticize that a woman that stays wants to be abused. No, they don't. They want to be loved. They want to be treated like the decent human being that they are. They want to be treated with respect. And a lot of times these things come up out of nowhere. You meet Prince Charming, he wines, he dines you, he shows you all his best. You are just dating his representative. That is not who he is. But when he shows you who he is, believe him the first time. I hope this video has helped someone, and I appreciate you watching and tuning in. I thank you all for being here, and I hope that any of you that are experiencing abuse, if you have questions or concerns, or you need help, I can help steer you in the right direction. Please leave me a comment down below. Take care.